DNA evidence is likely the surest, most tested, the most robust scientific evidence that goes to court. It's at the top of the list. Yet, here we are discussing a case involving DNA evidence that led to a wrongful conviction. Because, as Dr. Krane says again and again, there is the distinction between what the science can say and how people interpret the science. And DNA evidence is just one type of forensic science that goes to court. Dr. Krane points out that while DNA evidence has survived people making mistakes, there are other types of evidence which have just completely lost credibility. They were used to convict people in the past, but they're not so trusted today because of these same types of interpretation problems.
There are similar disciplines that have really very much fallen out of favor in the same way that gunshot residue has. Hair and fiber comparisons used to be very heavily relied upon, and now very little weight is attached to them today. Forensic odontology, bite mark analysis, used to be fairly widely used and has now been almost completely discredited. Handwriting comparisons turn out to not be nearly so reliable as people thought they might be. And, the list goes on. And one of the hallmark features of those no longer utilized approaches seems to be the inability to attach a reliable statistical weight to the failure to exclude somebody as a possible source of the material. And maybe one of the hallmarks of that was that analysts, instead of putting a number like 1 in a billion, would simply say this was the person's handwriting to the exclusion of all others. And they'd say that because they couldn't put a number on it. And again, absent a rigorous study and validation, that's not justified.